Hi everyone, it's me live from Starbucks in Atascocita. I didn't quite make it to Kingwood from where I live. I saw that it was, I think, 10 minutes till, and I was passing Atascocita, and I just said, let me just stop at the Starbucks and do the Q&A and then drive straight from there to Kingwood. So if you are waiting for me at Kingwood, I will be there slightly late, depending on when the hangout ends. So, how are you guys doing? It's almost Thanksgiving. We're almost done with the semester. Let's breathe, all right? And we're actually at the tail end of the semester. We are we're doing the annotated bib, which is going to help you do your research paper, which is the next module that's coming up. And really what the next module is I'm going to explain to you kind of the structure of the argument paper, what it all entails, and then you have the rest of the module, which is 2 weeks, to do your research and to write your research paper, and then we're done. And then the final, and then we're done. So we're at the tail end here. Do you guys have any questions about the annotated bib? Pretty much, I had nothing prepared because I just kind of wanted to do a Q&A. I wanted to answer any questions that you guys had. If you've never done an annotated bib, you're probably a little confused. I tried to give you as many examples of it as I possibly could. So let me know, what questions do you guys have? No, Kelly, we cannot resource this out. I mean, you could resource it out, but you're not going to get the grade. So, no, you cannot resource it out. Okay, so I cited the serial maps and graphics area. How would you suggest I annotate that? Really easy. It's just like how you would annotate anything. Really, the annotations are notes, right? You're paraphrasing what's there. You're deciding whether or not you're going to use that source. Um, or maybe you're like, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use this source, but I thought this was interesting. So that's what you would say about the maps and the documents. I would cite specific maps and specific documents because not everything is going to pertain to what you want. So that's why it's important to decide whether you believe Adnan is guilty or innocent. If you believe that he is guilty, well, believe is the wrong word. If you could argue that he is innocent, you may not believe he is, and you may not know he is, but if you can argue that he is, and then you have 3 reasons why, that's a lot easier to do the keyword activity, and it's a lot easier to know what sources that you want to use. I would do it that way. And then when you're writing your summary of the source, just so that you can say, I'm using this map of the Best Buy parking lot because since I believe that he is guilty, I need this map to prove that he is guilty. Or I have, since I believe that Jay is lying, this actually contradicts what he's saying later on in the testimony. So these are really, really good notes, and they're really detailed notes. And when you're in the thick of doing research, you're going to be very glad that you did this because you're going to go through all these sources, and minimum is 10. If you want to do 20 sources, that's fine. I'm going 30 sources. That may be too much, but that's fine too. Because then when you go back and you look at the sources and you say, okay, this one I found really interesting, I'm going to use this. You're just going to pull those sources. You already have your citations done, so you can just copy and paste your citations on your works cited. So that's just really helpful that way. Okay, Kelly, where did you find Haman's autopsy? Um, the reason why I ask, because you want to make sure that you're getting it from a good source. You're not getting it from like, oh, some random like blog or whatever, because you don't know if that's true or not. But you're getting like the autopsy, say from like Serial, or you're getting the autopsy from a news organization, or if you're getting the autopsy from the actual like city of Baltimore or whatever, that's a viable source. So is it a viable source? Is the first question I have to ask you. And we have somebody from Brazil in the live chat. Hello, person from Brazil. This is actually for my 1301 class in Texas, and so this is actually not something for you. So if you could kindly log off, that'd be great. Okay. Are we supposed to say whether or not we will use the site in our paper? And why? Yes, you are. And it's okay as of this point if you don't know you're going to use it yet. You could say, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use it. It seems like I could use it because of this, this, and this. So you don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to say, oh, I'm going to use everything that I'm going to that I have. So you can say, I don't know. It seems like I probably will. So that's pretty cool. All right. Kelly had the next question. My family sent it from the city of Baltimore. Perfect. So go through the form, and it's not published outright. So you're going to say it's from the city of Baltimore. That is going to be an interesting one. Let me help you on that citation. So let's sit down and help and work on that citation. Are you at Kingwood? Because I'll be in Kingwood after this Q&A. So if you are at Kingwood, I can go ahead and help you with that citation. No problem. Just thank you for coming by, Mr. Person from Brazil. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, Kelly. So when I'm done with this, I'm actually going to drive straight to Kingwood to the SEC, and when I get there, we'll do it. I also have another person that's going to be waiting for me there. So we'll have a great powwow. How are you guys doing with sources? Are you guys? I want to make sure that you guys are really looking at whether their sources are viable, and the sources are good sources to use. I do not want you to use the podcast that's about cereal. So yeah, there's a podcast out there called Undisclosed, and it's about the podcast. I don't want you to use any information from Undisclosed, because it's biased information. It's Rabia's take on cereals, what it is, and it's kind of biased information. So I don't want you to use that. Are we only allowed to have more than 5 works in a research paper? I know this is for Annotated Bib, but I wanted to know while I was able to ask. No, it's a good question. Yes, it's 3 to 5. I think any more than 5, you start running into the paper being longer than it needs to be. So you're going to pick 3 to 5 really good sources, okay? And that's why I said 10, because from those 10, you're going to pick half of them. Because there's some sources that you'll look and you're like, I read it and it's not a great source. So you'll write that it's not a great source and you won't use it, right? Good question. Very, very good question. Is there any more questions? Are you guys getting the formatting correct? Because the formatting is a little persnickety. Not only do you have to get the formatting of your citation correctly, but the formatting of the paper correctly. I do have examples of the formatting from past classes, but the formatting, their annotated bib is exactly this, and it would be like me giving you the answers. So I can't give you their paper as examples. That's why I did the anatomy of a citation. I just took the first um, the first annotation, and just kind of did the things where you can click and know what it is. So I'm hoping that's helpful to you. Okay, Smith. So even if I say I will use this in my paper and I don't, that is okay? Yes, that's absolutely okay. Here's the thing about research papers that you need to understand in the process of the research paper. Everything is fluid, right? You could start doing this paper and thinking that you're able to argue that Adnan is innocent, and then in the middle of this, maybe after the annotation paper, you can say, no, I don't. I think I can do this as guilty rather than innocent. So you change, right? So everything is fluid. Don't be married to things until the very, very end. Where you when what you are married to, or when you get married to things, or when things are kind of solidified, is when you finally like have everything, made some decisions, and you sit down and write. That's when you make decisions. And even then, things can change, but for the most part, things will stay the same. So you're still in the very fluid part. So don't think that, oh, I'm going to say I'm going to use this in my paper and then feel guilty because you didn't use it in your paper. That's fine. These are notes. Think of these paraphrases and these summaries of these sources as your notes. Okay? And it's a very easy way to do a paper this way. I have another easy way to do a paper, but I need to be face to face to show you, so I didn't include it in this one. Oh, no problem, Kelly. Yeah, it's this is an easy paper because it's just a yes or no and proving it, but it's a little bit of a difficult paper because this case has um, so many variances. There's holes as big as Mack trucks and things. So that's what could be making it difficult. But it's not what you believe, it's what you can prove. If you think of it that way, this paper should be a little bit easier, right? Because you could write that he's guilty but prove that he's innocent, but you can prove guilt, but you probably couldn't prove innocent. And that's fine because it's an argument paper. And as you'll learn next week or on Monday when I release it, that an argument paper is really what you can prove, what you have an argument that you want to prove, and you go about proving it. That's all it is. You don't have to believe it. Um, yes, Kelly, there is way more holes in this case than Swiss cheese. And that's why I did the Padlet for you guys. And I don't know if you guys are using, well, actually, I do know. You guys are using the Padlet. What you guys are not doing is asking each other questions. And that is why I put the Padlet together. The Padlet, everyone in my 1301 across the 3 classes that I teach have access to this. So that means 25, 25, 25, 75 people have access to this Padlet. And so, yeah, it's a thing that you have to do because you want to check things off on a checklist. That's fine, but also use it to ask questions of each other because somebody may have heard something that you missed, or you may have heard something that somebody else missed. And if you ask each other questions and have the conversations, that may help you try to understand this a little bit better, and will help you with your argument later on. I'm going to keep the Padlet open through the next module too, so that everyone has an access to it and has access to people's thoughts and can ask questions. So please use that as a sounding board. It's there for you. Yes. You were Miss Kaylee. Kylie. Sorry, Kaylee. Kylie. You sent me the email, yes, and I think I responded. If I didn't respond, it's probably because I thought I responded in my dreams. Yes, you will get. Will there be any discussion? There will be discussion boards. You get everything, just like every other module. You get everything on the Monday. I don't anticipate there being a lot of discussion boards there because I have no other skills to teach you really other than the actual structure of the argument paper. I may have a live stream. I'm contemplating whether I have to have a live stream on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. No, the next Monday, Tuesday. You'll be gone, so don't worry about it. I haven't decided whether or not I'm gonna have a live stream. It's really just at this point, the only thing you need to learn is the structure of this thing. If you want to go ahead and look at the structure before the module goes up, go to your book, your Writing Today book, and look up the argumentative essay, and that's the structure you're going to use. Because that's going to be helpful. And that's it. Like every other skill you've learned how to do paraphrasing, you've learned how to annotate, you've learned how to do the works cited page, you've learned how to do research, you know what viable sources are. Like, I have nothing more to teach you. So it's literally just show me. So really, if you wanted to, Tyler, if you wanted to, are you at Kingwood right now, or could you be at Kingwood today? Because we can, if you have any, if you have your annotation stuff, your annotated bib, I can look at it today, give you some feedback, and that way you can fix it, turn it in, and continue your research, and just go ahead and start on the research paper, so that way you don't have to wait. Kelly wants a live stream. I want to live stream too. Thanksgiving is complicating it. I really wanted to meet with you guys in person, but you know, space, time, it's a thing. Can you, hold on, Kelly, hold on. Kylie, can you have someone drive you out to the college? If that's a possibility, or can we do like a Skype or Google Hangout, just me and you one-on-one, and like I can look it over as we talk about it. That way, like you have all the information that you need, and you can like keep going with your stuff. Because I think you need to go out of town. I think that's a good thing. And I want to like be able to give you everything you need before you go, so that way you don't have to worry about anything for that. Yeah, Kelly, it's really about a life. It's really about time and space. So I couldn't do that face to face. Maybe the live stream like the Monday after Thanksgiving could work. I haven't decided yet. Tell me what you guys think. If you want another live stream and what you want that live stream to be. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's go ahead and do a Skype. Email me off of live chat. Go ahead and email me, and when I get to Kingwood, I will email you back, and we can go ahead and set up a time and do the whole thing. Okay? It's definitely not a problem, and I completely understand. You guys tell me if you want a live stream and what you want that live stream to be. Because literally, like, I don't know what it could be. It could be another Q&A situation. So yeah, could be another Q&A, because I don't have another skill to teach you. We're practically done with the semester, guys. So that's why I'm just like, I'm running out of things to show you. It's just research paper at this point. Are there any other questions? Thank you very much. I try to, my live streams being informative. Thank you very, very much. I try to make them as informative, and I don't, like, I thought when I was creating the online class, I'm just going to have live streams every Monday. And I'm just going to teach live. And I was just like, nobody wants to hear all that. So it's just like, have them when I know they're going to need, and then have more of them. Today is just an anomaly because I was just thinking there may be questions on the annotated bib or annotated bib. So let's just do a quick Q&A. Okay, so Kelly is saying he would like a Q&A live stream and structure, since definitely on structure, since it's going to be, since we're learning. Okay, you say open it up for us to ask each other questions about the case too. Yeah, we could do that as a Q&A. I kind of feel like the Padlet does that. but we can, hmm, I don't know. I need to figure out how to invite people to the live stream. And then we can have like almost like a panel discussion. We can almost have like a panel discussion on the live stream and have people talk about it, and then other people kind of chime in. Let me see the capabilities of Google Hangout, and I'll get back to you on that. I probably did answer. Like I went through the Padlets today, and I entered a couple of questions and put some stuff in. So you may want to check the Padlet again. Jeremy, hello, how are you? You said Skype call would work. What do you mean? Because there's a lag here, so I'm not quite sure what you mean by Skype call. Um, yeah, no one's using it. But people are using it. I mean, they're checking it off their list, but they're not using it to converse. There's a couple of conversations that are going in the Padlet, but they're like way at the beginning, so they're down. Like you keep scrolling, they're down. There's some people kind of conversing, but it's not a lot of conversation. So that's why I'm mentioning it in the live stream, that I'm hoping that you guys will use it that way, because that's how it was set up. Because yeah, it's like a serial support. Yeah. It is. I agree. And I look to see if there's notifications. And I think what I will do next semester, not this semester, for you guys, because you guys are done, but for next semester's 1301, I'm going to have people actually have a Padlet um, account, because it notifies you in the Padlet account that you have um, people responding to your Padlet. But if you or don't have an account, you don't know. So that is part of the problem. I was thinking about having it as a discussion board, but I can't do a discussion board across 3 classes. So that was also my problem too. Um, so yeah, I tried, guys. Um, I tried, but we see what we can do if there's another thing that we can do. Yeah, it's a weird case, right? Weird case. Kelly's like, yeah, 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 yeah. So, all right, you're agreeing with me on something. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying I'm doing great. I like, guys, you have no idea. Like, I try very, very hard um, to make sure that you guys um, sorry, get everything that you need for the semester, because 1301 is one of those classes that the skills that you learn in 1301 can help you in other classes. So I really looked at what I could cut and what I had to have and how I could structure it so that way it wouldn't be as overwhelming as it could have been. So I try really hard on these things, guys, and I thank you so much for saying that I'm doing great, and it really means a lot. Um, Denise, you want another live stream. Can you tell me, please, like what you want that live stream to be? Because I'm running out of, I mean, I don't have any more skills to teach you. So would you want another Q&A, just like we're doing now? Or would you want maybe like a panel discussion about cereal, like Kelly had mentioned earlier? What exactly would you want in the live stream? I'm gonna take a sip of thing. Sorry, Kelly. Okay, so I'm waiting for more questions as I'm doing this. Kelly, since you are already at Kingwood, um, Since you're already at Kingwood, could you do me a favor? Could you, since it's nice outside, I think we're going to sit on the patio. Could you kind of reserve some spots, a table for us, or a table or two for us? You can move the two tables together out on the patio for me, and that's where I'll be. But you don't have to do it right this second, but like when we're done. Is there any more questions? Are there any more questions? Thank you, Kelly. I will wait for a second while you guys type up questions. And this is an opportunity to ask anything about the annotated bib. It is kind of persnickety. Okay, Rick, then I'll look for you. Or actually, we're gonna be out at the patio, on the patio. So look for Kelly. Kelly, look for Rigdon. We have no idea what you guys look like, but I'm pretty sure you will know each other. You will have the same desperate look of 1301 on your faces. So you will know. So look for us. We're going to be out on the patio. I'll be there for about an hour and 15, hour and a half, because I'm going to the holiday tree lighting at the SCC. So I'll be there through that. So I'll be there. I'll be there. Kelly says he is gray-haired and he's in a green shirt today, so look for him. Anybody, look for Kelly. Desperation is prominent in these. Yes, yes it is. Yes it is. But you guys, look at the work you've done this semester. This was a tough semester, right? Let's acknowledge that this semester nobody wanted this semester. This was like the last choice in semesters, really. This is the type of semester nobody wants to put together. And look at the work you guys have done. I can say with so much confidence, out of all the 1301s that I have taught in Kingwood, and I've been there a year, I've been teaching 5 years, but I've been in Kingwood for a year. In that 1 year, I think you guys are the most prepared 1301 that I have ever had. And it's because of being online. And you may not feel that you are prepared, but you guys are. And I want you to think about what you've learned. You've learned how to do research. Not every student knows how to do it. You guys learned how to write different types of essays. This is a class where there's 6 essays, right? And you guys have written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've written 5 because the annotated bib counts as an essay. So you guys have written 5 out of 6. And if you count the MLA paper, that's 6. So you've done that work in 10 weeks. You guys have rocked out. Like, give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. You guys have done amazing. So we're almost done. Okay, we're almost done. But I'm really proud of the work you guys have done. I'm like so happy. You guys have rocked it and stuck it out, and I'm very, very proud. Oh, Ripton, I actually have an answer for that. Yes and no. There will be 12-week courses again, but we're gonna go back to 16 because we're all online again. But there's an increase in face-to-face classes for Kingwood. So there's some classes that are face-to-face, depends on discipline. For English, there's more hybrid classes. All of my classes next semester are hybrid. So if you need to take a 1302 and you want to continue to take me, I have hybrid classes. I have 2 1302 hybrid classes, and they meet, I think, on Thursdays. And hybridness, it means that you do some online work and you meet once a week with your teacher in a classroom setting, and it's for an hour and 30 minutes. So that's what's up. So there are going to be face-to-face, but not a lot because we're still not completely online. We're not going to be, our campus is not going to be back online until January 2019. So Some classes are going to be face-to-face, but not all of them. And we don't even know what fall is going to look like. We had a meeting, all the faculty had a meeting with our vice president of instruction yesterday, and they don't know what fall looks like. They just did the spring schedule, and they had to redo the spring schedule. So this is how it works. When you do the schedule for a semester, it's almost a year out. So for example, the spring schedule, we were talking about the spring schedule last spring for the spring. So we were talking about it probably like in May. Okay, what do you anticipate teaching? Oh no, April. We'll talk about it April, March or April. What do you anticipate teaching? Blah blah blah. And so they made the schedule, and so the schedule is out. It wasn't where you guys can see it, but it was done. And then the hurricane happened, and it did this completely to all the schedules. And so on Friday, last Friday, is when they actually finished the spring schedule that you guys are seeing now. So now they're talking about fall. They're not quite sure what fall is going to look like because there's some buildings that may or may not be open. We have to wait for people to test air quality, to double check if there's any mold growing, for bricks to be replaced, for things to be gutted again. So it's a big thing. Yeah, I mean, like, there's some students within, okay, Kaylee. See you later. Bye, Kaylee. Um, don't forget to message me. Yeah, but then there's some people who are doing really great with online, um, and some people who don't. And it's just your learning preference. And so I like that you work on your own pace. That's good. That's a really good thing. Um, yeah. Yes, Kelly, January 2019. That's when we are anticipated, and I'm putting emphasis on anticipated, that we will be back online. Um, Anything can happen between now and then. And you have to think that we are competing with other people who also got flooded, who also need materials, who also need construction workers, who also have need of architects. So that could be pushed back even more. I hope not, because I miss being on campus. So right now it's January 2018. And it could be that we have like certain buildings that come back on. Like it could be that like a building is ready to go, and so they open up a building so they'll have more face-to-face classes. So again, we don't know. You know as much as I know at this point. Is there any other questions? You guys anyone have any more questions about the flood and what's going on behind the scenes and whatnot? Because we just had a meeting yesterday, literally. So I can answer some things. Not a lot of things because I don't get to sit in the big meetings that make decisions, but I get to sit in the meetings that tell us what the decisions were. So, all right, Kelly, I will see you soon, my friend. Don't forget to save us some spot on the patio. Okay, so if there's not any questions, I'm going to go ahead and go. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me, or you can stop by Kingwood. I'm there. I'm out on the patio. Look for me. I have a yellow, what I look like now. And I have my laptop, which has a yellow cover on it. Or you can see Kelly, who is showing us a spot there on the patio. It's a nice day outside. Let's just go ahead and enjoy it, right? Okay, so no questions. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck on your annotated bib, and I'll see you later. Bye.